I'm Devorah Wallen, and I'd like to share my Tea for Two, my Torah thought, for 2 minutes more or less. This week we have a double portion, Tazria and Metzora. As we continue through Vayikra, Leviticus, we're focusing on those things that are ritually pure and impure. Tazria focuses on the purification process for women after childbirth, while Metzora delves with the purification rituals for those afflicted with tzoras, a condition often translated as leprosy. We will focus on this concept in Parshas Metzora. Tzoras is a physical manifestation of a spiritual impurity resulting from negative speech, specifically lashon hara, evil speech or gossip, arrogance, or other moral deficiencies. In biblical times, we were spiritually sensitive, and this condition would erupt on the skin of a person who spoke ill of another. This person would be called the Metzora. However, in our spiritually desensitized world, this clearly does not occur. If so, we would have to find excuses for our appearance quite often. What can we learn about the affliction of tzoras today when it does not come out as a skin condition? Kabbalah and Hasidus consider tzoras as a spiritual ailment connected to a person's inner character and behavior. We must use introspection and self-reflection to identify and rectify negative character traits that may lead to spiritual impurity. The process of purification as described in the Torah involves various rituals and offerings. However, the teachings of Kabbalah expounded through Hasidus highlight the inner dimension of sacrifice, which is the transformation of the animal soul. The Holy Arizal explains that tzoras is a result of a lack of humility and the improper use of speech, and that the purification process involves rectifying these deficiencies through repentance, prayer, and introspection. The Baal Shem Tov taught that the affliction of tzoras represents a spiritual challenge that requires a person to delve deeply into their inner self, uncovering their negative traits and transforming them into positive ones. This process of self-improvement and spiritual growth is seen as a vital aspect of the human journey and the path toward closeness to God. As we mentioned previously, we sometimes need the humility to seek out guidance from others when we are blind to our own character flaws. The objective stance and encouragement opens the path and moves us on the way. As the Talmud relates, Ein chavush matiras atzmo mi beis ha'asurim. The prisoner cannot extricate himself from his own prison. It is fascinating that we are in the period of the counting of the Omer between Pesach and Shavuos, when each day we meditate on the improvement of the 7 Kabbalistic spheros, or character traits. Each of the 7 days of 7 weeks, we combine the spheros and learn what their psychological and emotional traits are. For instance, in Hasidic discourses, Maimorim in Hebrew, the Rebbes describe the combination of these emotional improvements. Rabbi Simon Jacobson has an app called My Omer, 49 Steps to Personal Refinement, which takes you through the practice of this beautiful mitzvah for 49 days. In the first week of counting, the week of chesed or kindness, for example, day 5 is Hod of Chesed, or humility and loving kindness. Rabbi Jacobson shares the Hasidic definition of this day's inner work, saying, "You can often get locked in love, unable to forgive your loved one or bend or compromise your position. Hod introduces the aspect of humility and love, the ability to rise above yourself and forgive, or give in to the one you love just for the sake of love, even if you're convinced that you're right. Arrogant love is not real love." Today, the messages behind Metzora are still relevant, emphasizing the importance of mindful speech, character, and behavior, and the need for continuous self-reflection and improvement. As we learn from Metzora and the counting of the Omer, may we have greater self-awareness in leading a more meaningful and spiritually fulfilling life that is sensitive to the world around us.